Player ratings in that 2-0 win over Albania with some standout individuals. Overall, it was a really comfortable performance. We're going to be dissecting, the starting 11's ratings, Thomas Tuchel's ratings, and also his substitutes. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on this as we go through together, rating the England players in his first win as England boss. So make sure you are staying tuned. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're keeping well. Let's crack straight into it then, because this is the player ratings, starting with goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. Had a shaky moment with Dan Burn, I think, in that first half. Didn't have a lot to do though, so it's hard to really judge him. So I'm just going to really give him a 6. Carl Walker, I was a little bit surprised to see him perhaps in the England squad. The AC Milan now defender. But I thought he done well, and I thought the fullbacks in this game for us were massive and nullified any threat that Albania did cause, mainly in the second half when they made those substitutions. They caused problems a little bit on the counter. Konsa, I think, is man of match contender here. What a performance. It just every time they did counter, it just tidied it up at the back. And, to start with, there was some nerves from Dan Burn, understandably, Jordan Pickford. And Konsa just, I think, eased those nerves, that transition, like Burn, his debut, Lewis Skelly, just made it so much easier for them. So Konsa, I'll give a 9. Dan Burn, I thought we done really well. See that moment with Pickford, I thought he dealt with it himself okay. It was only a moment where it could have led to potentially a goal, but between them, they sorted it out in a 2v1 where the ball's kind of hanging over the crossbars, one of those awkward ones. And he was a clear threat, for a set piece. He's an old-fashioned centre-back, and it's been a massive week for him. So really happy for him. Could have happened to, a nicer guy, really down-to-earth human. So I'll give him an 8. Lewis Skelly, I thought done well. I think he done really nicely for his goal. It's good movement, and I think it's a nice finish. I think people underestimate how hard that actually is, running at that speed and to time your run. So credit to him on his what I think is his England debut. I thought a couple of times he was sloppy in possession, so that's why I haven't got as high as someone like Konsa, but I still think a good performance. So I'm going to give him an 8. Declan Rice in midfield, I thought he was excellent, and that second goal, which we'll get on to, he provided for Harry Kane, was a peach of a ball. He was tidy, and his performance was really solid. I'll give him a 7. You could probably go a little bit higher. Curtis Jones, quiet one for him. Neat in possession, nothing too fancy. 6 out of 10. Jude Bellingham, I thought he pulled the strings of that midfield. Really good performance for him. And a lot of people say, England, they have a good team. Some really good players, some great players, in fact, but do they have any world-class players? Well, players like Bellingham and Kane, focus on Bellingham here, they just proved that instantly wrong. If Bellingham, I just think it's a case of consistently performing at those levels and having the impact, because teams will target players like him because they know how much of an impact and how big of a player they are for England. But for him, it's just about consistency, playing as well for country as he does club, and it's a good performance for him. Onto the attack, Phil Foden. I think it has to be serious question marks whether he, at the moment anyway, he is going to go to the World Cup 2026. A lot can change, of course, from now to then. I thought he was very quiet in this game, like he has been really all season. But we know he's got the quality. He's shown it in moments for Manchester City. Again, it's about a regular basis, and it's about stepping up. I just feel that Foden maybe relies on others a little bit too much. Again, for club and country, I give him a 5. Rashford, a little bit more involved, a little bit more positive. I thought he had a really nice moment where he nearly got an assist. I thought he done very well for that. Could have ended up in a goal. He took on his man and delivered a ball into the box. But there's one time in particular, Kane peached the ball over the top. Rashford's touch was poor. But it was an okay performance from him. I'm going to give him a 6. Harry Kane, I was super impressed with. Just in his own box, defensive headers from corners. There's one that Albania were offside that I remember Kane done just so well to get there. It could have been a goal. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the end, did it? Because it was offside. So Kane was really impressive. All-round centre-forward play was just superb for that second goal. He still got it. And how's I just can't get my head around now. He used to be our player, and just letting him go, not really replacing him is unforgivable, isn't it? Love Kane. He's just still got it, and he's just so underappreciated. Coming back to Phil Foden, a little stat I've got for you here. Phil Foden has been directly involved in just 12 goals across 2,899 minutes for England. It's 4 goals and 8 assists in that period. That's a goal every 725 minutes on average. Underwhelming, to say the least. The stat there is from Statsman Dave, Sky Sports. A big up to him. Moving on to the substitutes, Morgan Rogers. He had the longest period on the pitch. Didn't really see him, but he's a player that I'd like to see more in this England side. I give him a 5. Same for Anthony Gordon. Not enough, from him to really judge. So it's going to give the customary 5. Bowen, on the other hand, had less time than the other two, but looked really positive. And if we're being honest with you, putting the Spurs bias aside, Bowen, I think, has to be in that team over Foden at the moment based on form. I think he's absolutely class. Give him a 6. Henderson has got to be the most unpopular England player at the moment. Lots of controversy. Rightly so. It's a really strange pick, but at the same time, I understand maybe Tuchel thinking about that experience. He's only got an 18-month contract. He's got to win now. And having players that have been there, done it, won it, got that experience, you want them in the dressing room. Don't know about if you want them on the pitch, though. That's a different scenario. I'll give him a 6. James, come on in the 90th minute. Non-applicable. I've given him because we didn't see him for long enough. And Thomas Tuchel, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. A comfortable win. Could have been more, of course, but even if Albania had scored, because they did have a couple of moments, didn't they? I just felt we'd always take the game further away from Albania. I thought we had another gear or two that we didn't have a chance to show. But he's clear, wasn't he? And I like that in his post-match interview, his reaction after. He wants more. He's hungry. So I think it's good. Exciting times to come. We're going to have to be patient. He's not going to get as much time as Southgate, but I still think there's a lot to look forward to. But if you're new to the channel, thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe. If that'd be massively appreciated. It does help the channel grow. We provide England and Spurs content for you here, so make sure you are turning that notifications bell on. A lot of content now, more than ever. We come into a busy end of the season, especially for Spurs. If you're an England fan, might not be interested in the Spurs content until we maybe play your team, but still come back to the England content. There's a lot of it: player ratings, match reactions, match previews, any news, podcasts in the future. So make sure you are staying tuned. Thank you very much for now. A massive come on, England. Do remember to get your player ratings in the comments below. What would you change? What I've